The Super Dirt Series goes back-to-back in Central New York. Darwin finally gets it done at the Track of Champions. RJ is hot at Albany Saratoga as he grabs another one. Hey, Darwin, we know you won. We get it. Can we start Race Pro Weekly now? Hello and welcome to another edition of Race Pro Weekly. I'm your host, Mike Warren. Now that the Super Dirt Car Series is starting to put some races on weekends toward the end of the season, the Duel at the Demon was on the horizon, and it's time to head there courtesy of our friends from Landho Maintenance. The 4-wide salute to the fans for the Duel at the Demon. Coming up as Stuart Friesen and the 93 of Ryland Bartlett going to take the field to the green in this 100-lap feature event as Friesen with nose on ahead take the early race lead. Here's Chad Phelps looking to bear down on the inside with Ryan Bartlett up top. And a great battle behind between Matt Williamson, Larry White, and Billy Decker as they fight for the number 4 spot, bearing it down off of turn number 3 and 4. As this happens, Ryan Bartlett takes the race lead going down the back straightaway, but the caution will come out for the 27J of Danny Johnson, who would be into the ambulance. He would be okay, however, after that tough hit. Off the restart, Billy Decker says, hey, it's my turn. Working down on the inside lane, he'd take the race lead away, splitting both Friesen and Bartlett, as he would be your new race leader right away in this one. And now Tim Fuller already up working on third, trying to get by Larry White. He grabs that, now goes for second on the inside of Stuart Friesen up off of turn number 4. And he wasn't wasting any time either as he would power to the outside, looking to take the race lead away from Billy Decker. Fuller not going to take too long as he would power up on the outside lane, and he would be your leader down the back straightaway as he would take it away. Meanwhile, the 91 would start to fade a little bit as now here comes the 9S of Matt Shepard, looking for the number 3 spot through turn number 3 and 4 as he would keep it down on the inside lane in an FX Caprera car number 9S machine. He looks to pull away down the backstretch. He would have the number 3 spot, now look to go to work on the 99L of Larry White in slower traffic. White slings high here, Shepard down into the middle. He'll get by White, almost gets into the 43 at Keith Flack, but keeps it on the brakes up off the corner, and the 9S now looks into second. He would clear those slower traffic, and here comes the 9S working it to the inside lane as he's going to duke it out with Tim Fuller right next to Chuck Bauer up off the corner as the 9S has Shepard really pedaling hard on the inside lane. They drag race down the front straightaway. New race leader, that would be Matt Shepard up at the front, looking to keep his hot streak going. Shepard would take that spot away, and now here comes the 83 of Tim Sears Jr. with a late race charge, looking to crack the top 5. He would get by Stuart Friesen and work his way into spot number 4, trying to get Larry White for spot number 3 right behind him as he pushes up in off the corner, tries to find the momentum down the back straightaway. He'd get him off of 4, and now Sears Jr. up into the number 3 spot here in the final 10 laps. They weren't catching Matt Shepard, though, as he picks up a big win on the series once again at the Brewerton Speedway. And a good run by Tim Sears Jr. as he would come home into the number 2 spot after that late race charge. Billy Decker would finish in 3rd, Stuart Friesen 4th, and Larry White would round out the top 5. Sportsman feature event, Ronnie Davis III pick up the win, Brad Rouse would finish in 2nd, Shane Pecor 3rd, Rocky Warner 4th, and Kevin Root would finish in 5th. Now that the break from the fair was over, it was time for Fonda to get back in action, and how much better could you do it than with a Soul Showdown with triple 20s in all divisions. Triple 20 number 1, but before we get to that, you're going to see the Street Stock feature event where Jason Meltz and Josh Coonrad will come down side by side. Can I get a freeze frame? Oh yeah. Coonrad, by about a nose, picks up the win. I don't know what the rookie announcer was looking at when this race finished that said that Meltz won, but it was Coonrad. To the modified feature event now, here is Jeremy Wilder and Ronnie Johnson going to lead the field up into turn number 1 and 2, and RJ took off like a rocket down the back straightaway as cars working their way up early. And hey, there's Jeff Trombley in the 97 machine, the Andy Speed Shop entry. as car's going to get jammed up a little bit as Ed Harris slows up in turn number 2. RJ, the leader, already in lap traffic, going to see the 24 Wilder come right on his back bumper here early in this event, as Wilder trying to pedal to get under him as RJ looks for a nose underneath the one of Darwin Green. Can't get it, and then Wilder would see some daylight off at 3 and 4, and he would take the lead away just short of the halfway point. Wilder would continue to lead him as RJ would try to battle back, racing it up through turn number 3 and 4. Meanwhile, cars continuing to get jammed up as this was a great battle from about 7th on back throughout this entire event. RJ that time would bobble up at turn number 3 and 4. That allows Mark Keselowski to get by for the number 2 spot as he'd work his way down through the corner. RJ trying to battle back on the outside of the 3 machine as they trail Bobby Varon now looking for the number 2 spot as he has that. But Jeremy Wilder gone as he gets by Darwin Green in slower traffic once again through turn number 3 and 4. He makes contact coming down the front stretch, though, with Pep Karate as a front end goes around, almost catches Varon up through turn number 1 and 2 as that brings out the yellow flag with just 1 lap remaining. RJ with trouble as well as he would be a retiree from the rest of the night as Wilder would look to take the green and go 1 lap to try to take the checkers, but that wasn't going to happen just yet as Brian Gleason gets tagged up through turn number 1 and 2. Jesse Mueller and Elmo Reckner hit him hard, and a number of cars there as Gleason goes up and over. Elmo with a lot of damage on the 17 machine, and boy are we glad that 3G roll cage held up for the BBL Company's entry. Final lap off the restart, Jeremy Wilder back out at the front. Bobby Varon sneaks into second, and there's Buddy Pillinger with a run for third, but it was all Jeremy Wilder up at the front as he wins Triple 20 number 1. Varon would finish in second, Bellinger would come home third, Keselowski fourth, and Justin Bowler would round out the top 5. It's now time for this week's Kaiser Aluminum Wheels fan poll question, which is between Connor Cleveland and David Schilling, who is going to win the King of Dirt Sportsman title? Log on to our Facebook page at facebook.com/RaceProWeekly and we'll find out the results on next week's show. Taking a look at last week's fan poll question of the week, it was, do you like 100-lap sportsman races? Well, 71% of you said yes, the other 29 no. Coming up on Race Pro Weekly, we'll head back to Fonda for some more Triple 20 action and then move our way with another Super Dirt Series race at Weedsport. Reputable, reliable, results. That's what you get when you call Rick and the professionals at RCT Roofing. Quality service at fair prices. RCT gets the job done, just like Nick Stone and the RCT Pro Stock. RCT Roofing, we've got you covered.
I'm Brian from 1-800-GOT-JUNK. This is my main man Tom and my other main man Tom.
You never know how much junk you've got until you move.
Point to something you wish would disappear.
Would it be possible to... It's gone!
All you have to do is point.
Where have you been all my life?
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
There's only one place in the capital region for you to get the full racing action. Stop down at the Bobco video booth at the track or call 518-399-0937. Bobco Racing Video, the next best thing to being there. Welcome back to Race Pro Weekly for Modified Triple 20 number 2 at the Fonda Speedway as Darwin Green would take the early race lead up into turn number 1 and 2 for the first time as he'd roll him down the back straightaway. 35 Alan Barker and the 6H of Josh Hohenforce trying to work their way up through the field as Hohenforce trying to dig to the inside of that number 35 up in 1 and 2 as Bobby Varon battling with Jeff Rockefeller for position. Jeremy Wilder looking to go back-to-back in the first 2 feature events as he tries to split Bowler and Rockefeller coming down the front straightaway. Darwin Green would have this one, but Jesse Mueller was pedaling up on the top side as he was firing as he would catch up on the back bumper, but bobble a little bit off the cushion in turn number 2 as he worked his way down the backstretch. Meanwhile, the 6H of Hohenforce continuing to push his way up through the field as he looked for third on the 53 of Bobby Vetter. Down into turn number 2, down the backstretch though. Here's Mueller with another shot in turn number 3 and 4, but he bobbles the left front once again coming off at turn number 3 and 4. This time another great shot at him, but catches it and spins around, and a tough break for the 19 for the driver out of Olmstedville. Off the restart, some three wide battling down the front straightaway as Alan Barker right there with the 53 of Bobby Veteran. Jeff Trombley trying to get involved as well. He pushed up to the inside lane, take the number 3 spot. Bodie Pellinger going to try to drive underneath him, was well off at turn number 4. Meanwhile, Josh Hohenforth fading a little bit as there's a left rear flat tire on the 6H machine, as that would send him pit side. Off the next restart, Jeff Trombley would move into the number 2 spot as he would try to barrel down off the corner. Bobby Vetter, meanwhile, going to get into the back bumper of Bodie Bellinger going down the back straightaway, but this was all behind Darwin Green, who continued to lead this one here with just a little bit of time left. The 00 of Aaron trying to get by the 53 of Bobby Vetter on the inside when the caution would come out for the 3 of Mark Keselowski. That would set up another restart where Darwin Green would take control once again. Barker would move back up into the number 2 spot, and here comes Bobby Veron working it up top, trying to get by Jeff Trombley for third. He would grab that spot away, but they weren't catching Darwin Green, who picks up his first career win at the Fonda Speedway. And if you think we were done after he took the checkered flag, you don't know Darwin. Holy mackerel, what a celebration out here at the Fonda Speedway. As you can see, up on the roof, enjoying his time, and we're still not done. He's loving it, getting the crowd involved, and congratulations to Darwin for his first career win at the Track of Champions, as Alan Barker would finish in second, Bobby Veron third, Jeff Trombley fourth, and Bodie Pellinger fifth. Last Friday night was the final event of 2016 at the Albany Saratoga Speedway, and Lyle DeVore and company put on a full show for all the fans. Let's see who would win the last modified feature of the year. 35-lap modified finale at the Great Race Place would see the 111 of Demetrius Trellis and the 1RJ of Ronnie Johnson lead the field of the green as RJ looking to go back-to-back. He'd power up on the outside and take the lead early. Matty D on the move, though, in that BBL Company's entry, working it down on the inside. Then he'd go back to the outside. Here comes Kenny Tremont battling with brother-in-law Brian Berger up off at turn number 2. But the White Knight, Mark Johnson, also trying to get in on the fray. He'd move into second, and Elmo Reckner on the move on the outside as well. Tremont going to fight past Bublak down the back straightaway, as Robert Bublak with a 358 ride here in the last couple of races of the season. Meanwhile, Mark Johnson trying to stay out in front of the 3D of Matty Dean, working it down off of turn number 3 and 4. Here's the 17 of Reckner up top with the 115 of Tremont battling underneath. But Reckner, a very fast car, but hey, Tremont's put some laps around this place. He'd work on the inside lane and take the spot. Meanwhile, Matty D really pushing to the inside as we get into slower traffic, and this would be the chance for the drivers behind Ronnie Johnson, who was way out in front, to try to take control. But right now they're working it up through the corner as Jeremy Wilder trying to catch the field, but the caution would come out as some left rear damage on the 959 of Johnny Lutz. Off the restart, RJ would go back to the front. Mark Johnson would go back to second, as now Demetrius Trellis and the 115 of Kenny Tremont put on a clean, spirited battle up at the front of the field in the top 5. And meanwhile, here comes the 3D of Matty D rim riding around the White Knight like it's his day job as he take the number 2 spot away. Meanwhile, Ricky Davis, that is Ricky Davis in the 1, battling it out, trying to work his way up through the field, as now Tremont and Trellis continuing their spirited battle up into turn number 1 and 2 that time. Meanwhile, here's the 1RJ of Ronnie Johnson on the inside as Matty D trying to reel him in up off the corner, as that was the story, lap traffic, but eventually Matty D's line will be taken away by Don Madison up on the top side, and you can bet the 1RJ's going back-to-back at Albany Saratoga to finish out 2016. Matty D with a strong second-place run to finish out the year. Mark Johnson would finish in third, Kenny Tremont fourth, and Demetrius Trellis with a big top 5 run. Just like at the Duel of the Demon on Friday night, the Super Dirt Car Series was back in town at Weedsport once again. Let's see if it's exciting as the last couple as we head back to Central New York. The living legend, Dave Farney up at the flag scan. Rodney Rescott, you should take some lessons from him. 4 wide salute to the fans coming down in front, and it would be Matt Williamson and Tim Kerr. And there's a little more Farney with the green flag action, bringing it down to the green as they work their way up through turn number 1 and 2 for the first time. And I gotta love that wide shot of the big blocks going down the back stretch at Weedsport. Without question, as they scramble up at turn number 3 and 4, Matt Shepard looking to sweep the weekend once again in that 9S machine as he'd roll underneath Larry White, looking to work his way up in the early going. He'd be 3 wide as add Robbie Bellinger to the mix now up through turn number 3 and 4. Shepard would take the advantage off of that now and go to work on Batman Peter Britton for position up into turn number 1 and 2. Meanwhile, Tim Fuller would take the race lead away on the inside lane as Danny Johnson going to work with Tim Kerr, looking for position up off by turn number 4. And Well, he would call Mr. Kerr in for a checkup on the back straightaway as he would slide right past him and move into the number 2 spot. Larry White looking to take advantage as he sneaks by Keith Flack as well, going down the front straightaway. Down the back stretch they ride. Here's the 9S of Matt Shepard pushing to the inside of Britton, and now the battle was on up in front. You want side-by-side, take a look at this one, folks. Timmy Fuller up on the inside lane, but Danny Johnson, boy, was he coming on the outside. Working it up through 3 and 4 that time, trying to find the momentum to get by him off the corner. It would be almost dead even as Johnson might have pulled out ahead a little bit going up into turn number 1 and 2. But the higher Danny Johnson got, Fuller would be able to dig down a little bit deeper on the inside lane through this set of laps up off the corner, and Fuller trying to hold on. But now Johnson paddling back down in front. And this side-by-side battle would keep going and going and going. All right, I'm not the Energizer Bunny. I'm going to stop. Meanwhile, Danny Johnson still up on the outside trying to push past Fuller, but Fuller slides up the racetrack a little bit more that time from what his line was a little bit earlier. That would move the 27J back around on the outside finally after a restart, and he would be your new race leader as he would pilot it back down into the race lead. Tim Fuller trying not to get caught sleeping as here's the 99L of Larry White working it up on the top side in the Larry lane, trying to make things happen, but now Matt Shepard going to get involved as well down on the middle of the racetrack, trying to get by them both as he slid through the corner. White would successfully get by Fuller for the number 2 spot as they would slide back down in front of him. Now Fuller going to drift high. Here's Shepard as well. Wouldn't be long till Shepard would get by the 19 machine. Now try to pedal to get by Larry White on the inside. He would slide him up the racetrack a little bit, trying to find the momentum, and Matt Shepard will be up into the number 2 spot. But Danny Johnson is gone in this one as the battle for third continues to flake on as the 19 and 99 go at it for that spot, all behind the Doctor as he breaks Matt Shepard's tour streak, picking up the win out at Weedsport. The Doctor, with small block power under the hood, picks up the King of the Hill. Matt Shepard would finish in second. Coming home third would be Tim Fuller. Stuart Friesen fourth, and Lightning Larry White would round out the top 5. In the Sportsman companion event, Ronnie Davis III picks up the win in that one as well. Adam Hilton would finish in second. Rocky Warner third. Ricky Newton fourth, and Dave Marcachilli would round out the top 5. When we return on Race Pro Weekly, we'll head back for the final Triple 20 and some sportsman action coming up from Albany, Saratoga.
If you're like me, your to-do list never ends. But with just one phone call, I protect my home, family, pets, and yard all year round. With Northeast Pest Control's Premier Home Protection Program, I don't have to worry about bugs and pests, and I don't have to worry about harsh chemicals either. Now how about that want to-do list? Thanks, Northeast Pest Control.
Ants, termites, mice, or bees, call today for your free estimate.
With Northeast Pest Control, we guarantee you'll live pest-free.
Performance, quality, service. That's DMC Racing Products. Hundreds of name brand parts, competitive prices. That's DMC. DMC Racing Products. Race to win.
Looking for outstanding service for your car, truck, or SUV? Speed's Garage is a family-run business providing the highest quality of auto care. From routine maintenance, brakes, engine, body, or paint work, you can trust the professionals at Speed's Garage. Speed's Garage has all the auto service you need, plus full towing for any vehicle. For a championship service, go to Speed's Garage in Mellonville.
Hallmark Construction number 44, that would be Stuart Friesen.
Welcome back to Race Pro Weekly, and yup, you heard that right. Stuart Friesen made it back from Weedsport as Jesse Mueller would lead the field to the green in the final stanza for the modified Triple 20s. Jeremy Wilder looking to pick up his second win of the evening as he would try to close in on the 21 of Pep Karate up off of turn number 4. He'd get by him for the spot and look to set his sights into the top 3 on Cousin Corey as they work their way up through turn number 3 and 4 as Corey Wilder trying to hold off the 24 off the corner. Wouldn't be long, though, to Wilder, who was clearly one of the better cars on the racetrack throughout the entire night, would close in on the 71, try to diamond it off at turn number 4 as Corey Wilder has troubles coming down the front straightaway, showing a puff of smoke down off the back bumper. You come to a stop, and that would bring the yellow out onto the speedway. Off the restart, Mueller trying to take control, and they're 4 wide behind him. But as that happens, Jeremy Wilder with a great restart working to the inside, and here comes Stewie. Friesen looking to prove that victory is mine off of turn number 4 that time as he looked to crack the top 3. Meanwhile, momentum will go into the favor of Wilder down the back straightaway as they drive him through the short chute and past the Cow Palace. You'd see the 24 of Wilder as your new race leader coming down the front straightaway. Mueller with a little trouble would drop a couple of positions, which would now set up Stuart Friesen looking for the number 2 spot. Buddy Bellinger had a great night working his way up through the field as well, but now it's going to be Friesen getting by the 97 of Trombley for second, and he would try to close in as he was running out of time to get by Jeremy Wilder. Here's a look on the last lap. One last shot at him, not going to be enough as Wilder gets his second win of the night. Friesen would have to settle for second, but still a great drive coming from shotgun. Jeff Trombley would finish in third, Jesse Mueller fourth, and Mark Keselowski would be fifth. Sportsman finale out at the Albany Saratoga Speedway as Adam McAuliffe would lead the field to the green in the 25-lap feature event. As they work their way up through the corner, Jeremy Pitts, your 2016 champion, going to dart by the 33J of Chris Johnson. Timothy Davis running Malta for the first time in 2016 as well, as he push up on the inside, looking to get by Johnson as well off the corner. This was a battle early and throughout this entire event as Derek McGrew wasted no time going up on the top side, looking to try to take the race lead from the 234 up off the corner. He would barrel it down off of turn number 4. New race leader, that would be the 27 of Derek McGrew, but believe me, we weren't done yet. Jason Gray going to get into the fold as well as he cracks the top 5, and these 5 drivers will put on a show at the front. As now the 93J of the hot shoe, Cody Blue, working it past the 00 machine. And then off of a restart, he'd slide past McAuliffe as well and take the number 3 spot. But as that is happening, here comes Dave Constantino as well. 4 wide battle down the front straightaway. Somehow we stay clean and green through that one. Is Joik Soul and Chris Johnson going to battle it out with Jeremy Pitts up through turn number 3 and 4 for the first time in this event. Off of this one is Joik Soul trying to work his way up. Meanwhile, battle for the number 2 spot. Here's Cody Blue on the inside of Dave Constantino trying to take the spot away. Constantino would find some momentum, and that past time he did hit the line as the race leader. So when the caution came out for Ferrone and Nick Lucier on the backstretch, he would be shown in the number 1 spot, and he would take the lead away, coming down the front straightaway once again. Up through turn number 1 and 2, they would go as Constantino would have it off at turn number 4. Cody Blue taking the number 2 spot. Now he'd work up to the top side trying to see if he can find something. And now Jason Gray going to try to find some advantage to push past the 27 of McGrew off the corner. For the race for the lead, though, Cody Blue going to deliver a hip check as they go side by side down the back straightaway. As they come off of 4 this time, here's Cody Blue with the race lead. But Constantino wasn't done. He'd come back on the top side as he break him down and take the race lead away, looking to take the white flag this time as they work their way off of turn number 3 and 4. They bring it up through the corner. Cody Blue had the momentum on the inside. He'd pull out ahead, coming down the back straightaway. One last shot for Constantino as Blue hits the implement tire. Constantino nowhere to go, and Jason Gray holds on to the win. Let me be the first to say that Cody Blue is okay following that scary wreck, as Jason Gray would pick up the victory. Derek McGrew would finish in second, Hartman Jr. third, Chris Johnson fourth, and Adam McAuliffe fifth. But Cody Blue is okay. Other winners on the night in the Pro Stocks. The Manimal, Nick Stone, would pick up the win. Limited Sportsman will go to Scott Bennett Jr. John Morris Jr., the long hauler, picking up the win in the Street Stocks. Empire Lightning Sprints, Alex Bell would pick up the victory. 4-cylinder single cam will go to Robert Garney. And Josh Wood in the 4-cylinder dual cam. Pro Stocks tripling up as well at the Fonda Speedway is here in triple 20 number 1 in the closing laps. You'd see the 35 of Kenny Gates duck underneath the 7A of Chucky Domblewski for the race lead. He'd bring it around, and your champion would pick up the win in triple 20 number 1. Now on to triple 20 number 2, Justin Knight with the race lead. Here's Jim Normoyle working up on the outside after many laps, plugging to the inside to try to take the race lead away. He gets them as they come to the white flag. Final time up into turn number 1 and 2, Normoyle would lead the field as Horning and Henderson working behind him. They come through the corner. Normoyle was gone, but then you'd see contact between Knight and Horning, and Jim Normoyle wins it, but what a battle coming to the flag as cousin Luke limps it over the line after that tough break. Triple 20 number 3, going to see Chucky Domblewski take the field to the green here in this one as they work their way up into turn number 1 and 2. Here for the first time, cousin Luke and Kenny Gates. Gates looking to go with another victory after coming up with a first and second in the first 2 events as he would work it down on the corner. Kenny Martin in the 21, normally piloted by Dave DiPaolo, working it up on the top side, and Justin Knight trying to push his way through the field as well. And here comes Cousin Luke and Kenny Gates, as Gates going to use a pick and roll to get by Horning off the corner as he tries to battle with Shane Henderson as well, coming down the front straightaway. Kenny Martin quickly moving his way up through the field as he had to start deep on the grid. He would get by a couple of drivers as well, as now Kenny Gates working to try to get into the number 2 spot as he would try to dive by the 9 of Shane Henderson as they come down by the Cow Palace. Up off of turn number 4 they go. Kenny Gates going to nose out ahead. He being second, trying to chase down Chucky Domblewski here before this one is done, as Knight, Normoyle, and Kenny Martin fight for position down the back straightaway, as Kenny Martin just picking them off one by one in that 21S machine as he continued to roll down the back straightaway. Knight trying to hold back on the outside, but as this is all happening, we got a battle for the lead starting to shape up, as looks like the first one all over again here as Kenny Gates works to the inside lane to try to get by Domblewski. That time Domblewski going to hold him off though. I hope you don't think we're done. This time it was going to be Domblewski trying to use the 77 of Jamie Warner as a pickup off of turn number 2. He does that successfully as he would get a little bit of an advantage, but here comes Gates battling back on the inside as they work down the speedway. Still a couple of laps to go in this one as they look to get by Dave DiPaolo down the back straightaway as Gates pushes back into turn number 3 and 4, trying to battle back as they're still side by side as they come to the white flag, this time by with Kenny Gates as your race leader. Domblewski trying to battle back on the low side as Gates pushes it up high. They got Nick Arnold right in the middle. 3 wide off by turn number 3 and 4. Domblewski makes a little bit of contact, but coming to the line, it would be Kenny Gates going 2 out of 3 in Triple 20 competition. Kenny Gates would pick up the win in the third feature. Domblewski would finish in second. Shane Henderson third. Luke Horning fourth. And Cassidy Wilson would finish in fifth. In feature number 1, it would be Kenny Gates and Chucky Domblewski in spots 1, 2. Pete Broderson third. A.J. Walters fourth. And James Normoyle Jr. would finish in fifth. And rounding out your feature events for the Pro Stocks at number 2, it was Jim Normoyle grabbing the win. Kenny Gates would be second. A.J. Walters third. Dave DiPaolo fourth. And Luke Horning would finish in fifth. Keep it locked right here on RPW as we'll come back with some Fonda Sportsman action and some sights and sounds from the final night of Albany Saratoga.
Out here, seconds mean everything. That's why, in here, we work so hard to shave them. When a second matters, science matters. Mobil 1, energy lives here.
Where is it that going green is going strong? Where trees are planted so emissions can be cut down. Where clean ethanol blend fuels race cars and waste oil never goes to waste. Where is it that the sun comes up and we put it to work, and the passionate fans are just as passionate about helping out? Where? Nowhere but NASCAR. Learn what small steps you can take to make a big difference at NASCAR.com/green.
If you are a tracker series that would like to be highlighted on Race Pro Weekly, email us at show@raceproweekly.com.
Triple 20, number 2 for the Sportsman division, all set to get out onto the speedway, as it would be Chip Constantino in the 24P, leading him into the green and up into turn number 1 and 2 for the first time, as Dave Constantino would be on the move in the early going of this feature event, working it down on the inside in that West End Towing number 7 machine. He bringing up off of the corner is now Dan Santa Barbara looking to work as Tim Hartman Jr. up to the top along with Cody Clark, trying to find their way down the back straightaway. Car on the move towards the front, though, was the one of Mark Mortensen as he would power it up on the outside past Josh DeMagistris up off the corner. Brian Calabrese going to get involved as well as Constantino slides back a couple of spots as Soul and Schaefer going to get by up off the corner. And then the Social Plaza number 1M going to work its way up into the lead as now he would be your new race leader down the back straightaway and into turn number 3 and 4. The 7 machine of Constantino fighting tooth and nail with the 21C of Calabrese down the back straightaway is Jamike Soul right there as well. But now a battle for the number 2 spot ensuing as Chip Constantino looks to hold off DeMagistris and the 16 of the Wild Child, Billy Gray. Gray will get by the 73 machine, which would now bring the 24 up on the high side, looking for the spot, but Billy Gray would dive in and take the number 2 spot away. Meanwhile, they continue to work their way off the corner. While that was happening, here comes Constantino and Schaefer getting by for position. They get by Billy Gray as well up off the corner, as now Dave Constantino trying to reel in your top getter. Up off the corner in turn number 4, though, things would get a little out of shape as cars would go around and up and over. Chip Constantino and Billy Gray involved. Aaron Burton as well in the 26A, as that would bunch the field back up. Off the restart, it would be the 1 Emma Mortensen once again with the lead. Chris Schaefer would move out into the number 2 spot down the backstretch. Jamike Soul going to look to stay in front of Adam McAuliffe off the corner. He would take the number 2 spot away on the outside lane as the cars continue to fight up through the field. Jeremy Pitts and Dave Constantino fight for it down the back straightaway. But Mark Mortensen way out in front picks up a big win in the middle stanza of the Triple 20s. Mark Mortensen picks up the win, Jamike Soul second, Adam McAuliffe third, Chris Schaefer fourth, and Dave Constantino would finish in fifth. In the first feature event, it would be Jeremy Pitts grabbing the win, Jamike Soul would be second, Adam McAuliffe third, Cody Clark fourth, and Joe Orlando would finish in fifth. And in Sportsman number 3, it would be Chris Schaefer picking up the win, Jeremy Pitts second, Rocky Warner, who made it from Weedsport, third, Adam McAuliffe fourth, and Mark Mortensen would finish in fifth. Other winners on the night in the street stocks you saw earlier, it was Josh Coonrad, not Jason Meltz. Don't get me started on that one. And Rookie Sportsman will go to Travis Billington. It's now time for this week's NISCA Performer of the Week. And with this driver finally getting it done at the Fonda Speedway, who else but Darwin Green? Darwin is now eligible for the Performer of the Year award given out at the end of the season. That's all for this week's show. For the latest news, results, and photos, check out Race Pro Weekly online at www.raceproweekly.com and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So for myself, Bobby Chalmers, Fast Eddie, Scott Morlock, Amber Chalmers, and everyone that helps put Race Pro Weekly together, thank you for watching this week's episode, and we'll see you next time.